Hey, you're hanging out in the Link Up Lounge. I'm Tiffany Mason.
And I'm Donna Ruppel. Around here, we believe success isn't just about what you know, it's about who you link up with. This is your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities.
Donna, it blows my mind that the two of us have over 30 years of combined networking experience.
I know. We've built businesses, expanded networks, and created unstoppable momentum, all through the power of strategic connections.
AKA networking. And now we're here to guide you to do the same, starting today.
So let's dive in, connect, and start making moves you didn't even know were possible.
Welcome to the Link Up Lounge for another exciting episode of how you can make your networking work for you. I have a question for you guys. Have you ever felt like social media is just a sea of noise, likes, surface level scrolling? Then today's episode is going to change the way you use it.
Here's what we believe. Social media is about social. It's not just posting and ghosting. It's easy to get caught up in algorithms, hashtags, curated content, super sassy, awesome reels. But at its core, these platforms are full of real people. And that means real relationship building opportunities if you are intentional. I will admit, number one, social media is super overwhelming to me, and I love to just post and walk away. But today we are going to talk about why you don't want to do that.
Well, nothing is worse than getting a DM, fishing around for some business. You say something to them, but then they never reply back. Or you get like that slimy, salesy text message, or you just see somebody who's constantly only posting about specials and deals and whatever, right? We buy from people we know, like, and trust. When they don't know that you're a person, like, there's a person behind all of it. You know, sometimes people ask me if they should put their face on their podcast artwork or not. And, there's no harm in it. Like, people want to know that you're a real person on the back end of that. So when someone only contacts you for the specials or the sales, but never comments like on your posts, social media should be reciprocal. It's social. We don't want to be a taker, which we're going to talk about in the next episode. So make sure you guys tune in. But today it's all about how to use social media as a benefit.
Okay, so today we are going to talk about how to actually connect with people through social media. So, Donna, I'm talking to myself. You need to listen to this because I do not do a good job at this, but I will tell you, moving beyond just liking posts to real conversations can build that trust, can build the relationship. It definitely builds visibility and genuine community.
And oh my gosh,
Tiffany?
I'm struggling with this so much right now because I have like some thumb injuries and I only text with one thumb. And so lately when I get ready to reply to somebody, I'm like or love, and then I'm like, I should comment something. I'm like, but my thumbs, like I don't even want to hold my phone right now. So maybe I need to do voice to text or something because you're right. Like we need to do more than just like and love people's posts.
We do. Well, if you think about it, okay, like how much time, energy, effort do you put into your social media for your business? Probably a lot. I think everybody does. And so when people just like your post, you're like, it's almost like nothing. Really.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like a nothing. Even if you put a love or a care or a laughing emoji, it's still like nothing. What makes you feel so rewarded, like, oh, I'm amazing, like I'm a rock star, okay, is if I have like comments with words.
The dopamine hit.
Oh my God. Oh, I got 10 people commented on my post. I feel like a superstar. Okay.
Well, and I think we've talked about in our networking group with our women, like comment with 4 words or more because it actually pushes it up in the algorithm. So if you are commenting in a networking capacity, actually say something because it will boost that post that much more for that person that you're trying to support and use your network, expose their content to your network. You're more efficient when you put a couple words down there. And you're right. I mean, it's so much more rewarding when they say something.
Right. And you know what's so sad, okay, for me, is that I notice the people that comment on my posts. I have no idea who those 100 people were that hit the like button, but those 5 people that commented on my post, I remember who they are. Okay, that's how sad it is
Absolutely.
for me because comments are all the difference maker. So we all know that. We all know that, but we don't take the time to do it. And that's where you can become a standout in relationship building on social media is if you just actually make comments with words and emojis. So those are fun, but make a comment. Stop just hitting that like button.
Yeah, social media people out there, let us know. If we just do like 4 emojis, does that count as 4 words or 4 characters?
Right?
I'm not a social media manager, so if anybody knows, go ahead and let us know on the socials.
Right, right. I know. Yeah, it makes a big difference in the relationship you're going to build over social media, as silly as that may sound to some of us Gen Xers, okay? That those comments make a difference. All right. So let's all get our thumbs warmed up so that we can make it
Yes.
happen.
Or
Yeah.
voice to text if you need to. If you have thumb injuries, phone holding thumb injuries, I'm pretty sure that's what mine is. Yeah, we just voice to text that stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Because if you're
Eh,
just showing up to broadcast, you're missing the gold. The real business growth happens when social media becomes a social connection. And that's what started. It started with that's how social media started was being social. So we need to get back
Right?
to that a little bit. Yeah.
And
So let's
connecting
start with
people.
this.
Yeah, that was the purpose of social media way back when, before it
Yeah.
got overtaken with ads and businesses, trying to do our mandatory marketing. It used
Well,
to
and I
just
think you
really be
bring up a
about
good
social.
point about the commenting with words and that you remember that's who you want to connect with or you appreciate their support because social media is so noisy and because a post dies after like seriously 15 minutes it feels like that's where you're making that lasting impression. So you wanted to like or love for a reason and then maybe it falls flat if that's all you do.
Yeah. Well, I was just going to say, I mean, you and I are connected in so many ways in our lives. I mean, not only are we friends, but we do the networking thing and then we have the podcast and we have all these things. But how many times have you said, "Did you see my post?" And I'm like, "No." Like I
Yeah.
didn't even see your post because that's how noisy social media is. So, we all know that if you comment on somebody's post with 4 words or more, then you're going to see more of what they're posting. And
Hmm.
so you do get that feedback, but
So Donna, does that mean that you need to be commenting on more of my posts?
yes, clearly I do. I told you, like, I post and then I go and I
Mm.
just expect everything to work for me. But that I am the reason we're doing this episode, okay? Because
No.
I am the what not to do story here, okay?
Well,
Yeah.
I think it's
So,
because we post for multiple causes, I should say. And so I think you and I were coming up with all this content to post that then we're kind of drained and we don't have that energy to go back in and like I mean I do it 8 or 9 o'clock at night, but I don't know during the day. I've got a lot of editing I need to get done, and so I'm not on social media as much. I think that's why we need to work on this. So we are definitely speaking to ourselves. You are not the only reason for this podcast. And I'm sure a lot of entrepreneurs feel that way. We've talked about how entrepreneurs wear so many different hats, and it gets to be a lot. So just going back in and having real conversations, maybe we need to switch our mindset on that where it's, a little bit more of an enjoyable task.
yeah. And I will say, for a period of time when I was in the direct sales space, there was a push for people to, I don't know what the lingo is, slide into people's DMs. Okay. And have some sort of connection question or like say something. But the thing is this, okay, because I still get these messages to this day. And I look at them
Yep.
and I go, they're clearly selling something. Okay. So I don't
Yep.
respond to them. Right. And the reason I'm thinking that is because I don't have a relationship with them. They're
Yeah.
like somebody that's on my social, but I don't have a relationship with them. So why are they asking me what I'm doing today or how my summer is going or whatever? Okay. So this all ties back to what we've talked about in growing genuine relationships. I just want to be clear on this whole social media aspect. Yes, we want you to comment on posts. Yes, we want you to slide into people's DMs. Okay. I might be using lingo that's like old and like
Outdated, but we're like
old
old.
people. So just go with the flow. Okay. Because I think I'm really cool. So, sliding into people's DMs or whatever is good. That's good if you actually know them and if you're actually working on building a relationship. This is not something where, you go through 10 people a day and shoot them a message, because that's going to come off really icky and salesy and yucky and no. And that's not what we're talking about. What you could do, and I'm not a social media manager either, but what you could do is if somebody posts something that is interesting to you or exciting or really great, whatever it is, you could comment with your 4 words or more. Or you could shoot them a DM and say, oh my gosh, that post you made was really inspirational to me. And I just really enjoyed hearing about blah, blah, blah. Thanks for sharing. No agenda, nothing. It just showed that their post resonated with you. That's just a connection that they're going to remember. Oh, so-and-so really liked my post about whatever. Or like, who knows? Like for me, I love to travel. So when people post about their trips, I love looking at those posts. Do I always comment? Absolutely not. This is why we have this episode, right? But what I should do, and what I am not good at, but what I'm going to get better at, right, and work on, is what I should do is when they travel to a place that I want to go, I should message them in their direct message and say, oh my gosh, I've always wanted to go there. Can you tell me a number one thing like I should absolutely do when I go next? Because that's going to create a conversation that has nothing to do with business, that's going to be engaging, and they're going to feel like they've been heard on their post or their travel or their trip or whatever. And let's face it, I mean, travel, especially if you're talking international, that's a major investment, right? So people are probably excited to talk about it. That's when you can like slide into somebody's DMs, like genuinely, right? And talk about something that they just posted about.
Right. Well, I think it's okay to have genuine curiosity about somebody else's life. Like it doesn't always have to be about sales. So I think that that's great. And when you have made the comment, you have made the connection, guess what? Next time when you're going to a function that you know that they're going to be at, it makes for a friendly face when you show up. It's not like, oh yeah, there's that lady that I saw that went to on the safari in Africa. I should go ask her about it or whatever, right? Like, no, you already showed the interest, a month ago when she posted it. You didn't have to wait until you saw her again in person. So I think that this is really tying into how do we engage in a way that's meaningful, not just
Right.
visible, right?
Yeah.
So I've always been told that sales is supposed to be value, value, sell. You give value when you say, hey, how was your trip? I've always wanted to go there. What is the number one thing you would have somebody do that you would suggest for somebody to do when they visit there? Or asking about, oh, my kids were at the same soccer meet. It was so hot. How do you keep cool or whatever? You don't always have to ask a question. We're always saying a question at the end, but you don't always have to ask a question.
How do you keep cool at the soccer field? That's cute.
Well, girl, I'm out when it's hot, and there are so many different fans, you guys. I could tell you about 4 different fans. One that clips onto your waist, one that you freeze before you put it on your waist, one that goes around your neck, one that hangs overhead but spits out a mist. I mean, you guys, there are all kinds of fans out there. So that is a question I would be asking. But, it's that you're investing in these people and not superficially, like genuinely invest in people. And then, it comes that time where you say, hey, I'm having a party and this is happening. So-and-so is selling whatever. Would you like to come? Because A, I enjoy your company, and B, it might be something that you would enjoy.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing, as you were saying that, if I was talking about seeing somebody's trip on social media and I had slid into their DMs and then I saw them at an event, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I loved, all your pictures, blah, blah, blah. The question being this connector type of person that we talked about in a previous episode that would come to my mind is, did you plan that trip yourself or did you go through a travel agent? Because if I want to go on that trip myself, right? I would love to know there was a travel agent that already did all this, so I don't have to do all that research and plan it myself. So in the connection mindset, I might be like, did you use a travel agent? Or, how did you get that fan? Did somebody sell that to you? Or did you find that on Amazon? Yeah. So, that connector component just coming back into this conversation, because we love to tie everything together in a nice little bow, don't we?
Well, I think that you talking about looking for a travel agent, how many times has our group said, hey, these are the different types of businesses we'd like to have represented in our networking group? So let's say that spot was open in our networking group. the Bond and Beyond network. So shamelessly plugging that. But let's say that we're looking for a travel agent and you have this conversation like, oh my gosh, we're looking for a travel agent to be part of our networking group. You just never know. A, you never know who knows who. And
Right.
B, you never know who's looking for what. So,
Right.
you know,
Right.
these
Yes.
conversations, people don't just like walk up and like start saying like, I went to Safari and I use this travel agent and I use this car service and I use this airline. Like, we're not just divulging all this information to each other, but it does genuinely naturally come out in a conversation where you are actually interested. You're interested in their vacation. You're interested in how it was done and all those things. I think that finding those common threads is what connects us and then what leads to those genuine conversations.
Absolutely. Yes. And if you start to notice when someone is constantly engaging with your content, like making those comments and, maybe even messaging you in your direct messages, you start to really pay attention. And then I think to myself, how well do I know this person? And maybe I want to invite them to, have a conversation. Typically what I do, I'm just going to be honest, is if somebody is direct messaging me on social media, I will start having those voice messages back and forth.
Voice text.
Yeah. Yes. Because then they can hear your voice, you can hear their voice,
Yes.
and it's like having a conversation. And then from there, it can elevate into maybe an actual phone conversation. And then that, of course, elevates to inviting them to an event or meeting them for coffee or all these things. But it's not instant. And I think that's the biggest problem that people are having when they're trying to work their business or their networking over social media is they think that it's going to be like an instant thing that they're supposed to do. But really, this is something that's going to take time. It's going to build over time to be
Yeah.
genuine.
Yeah, and I don't know, I feel like I've shared this story in a previous episode, but it's just like when you are moving somewhere new and you're building those relationships and you really do want that familiarity of previous times that you guys have hung out, or you remember when we did this, remember when that happened. You don't get there just by the first time you meet. You have to like hang out, you have to have a couple of conversations, and then it turns into that familiarity that, like, oh yeah, I can rely on this person and I know that they'll come through for me, or I know that they know somebody who will be able to help me. I think it's important to have these conversations, connect on whatever level, and then take it offline. Is there maybe a group that they've invited you to on Facebook? Or is there where you've made a relationship? Or, and I'm thinking if you are virtually connected, but across the nation or whatever. That would be a good opportunity for you guys just to have a Zoom call or just to have a conversation, whatever that looks like for you guys, or in person, like, hey, I saw you were at Kookaburra the other day. That's a coffee shop here in the Jacksonville area. And, I would love to have coffee with you. What do you get there? What's your favorite drink? Mine is the honey badger. And then you can go from there and meet for coffee and really learn about each other's businesses. In our networking group, again, we encourage those in-person conversations. We meet virtually and we have great connections, but nothing is better than when we meet in person and you don't have to pay attention to the entire group. You're just focused on that one person. And my love language is quality time. So if somebody is going to meet me and give me their time, like,
Right.
I can't even believe, like, our time is one of those commodities we just do not have a lot of. So if
Right.
someone is going to give me their time, I am excited to meet up with them and learn about them and what they're doing in this world.
Absolutely. And, I think along those lines, when you finally take it offline and you're going to meet up with somebody, this may sound like common knowledge or, a given, but I am going to say it anyway, probably because I'm a Gen Xer. But when you meet somebody face to face, put your phone away. Put your phone
Oh,
away for 30 minutes, look them in the
yes.
eye, and have a genuine conversation because we do enough over electronics. You've taken the time out of your schedule and you're there and you're face to face. Put the phone away. It will mean a lot because I will tell you, if I'm on the other end of that table and we're finally taking our relationship offline and we're meeting face to face and you are nonstop on your phone, girl, I'm probably not meeting you again. That's just coming from
Yep.
me. I mean, how do you feel about that, Tiffany?
Well, I feel exactly the same way, first of all, because my second love language is quality conversation. So,
Right. Right. Right?
Those go hand to hand. Or quality time, I guess, is quality conversation. Anyway, I will say to take it a step further, some people are like, oh, I'm just taking notes on my phone. I even think that that's rude because it's the perfect opportunity for a text message to come through, or you're just going to quick check a text message, or you're just going to quick check LinkedIn. Like, no, put your phone away.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, are you here to genuinely learn about me? Are you actually interested in what I do? Okay, then show it.
Yeah.
What do they say? Like, body language is 80% of communication or whatever. Put
Yeah.
your phone away. Let me be the most important. Let me be the most important thing.
I know. And you know what? Honestly, at my current stage in life, I will say that when I wear my Apple Watch, that is equally distracting to me as
Mm,
things come in. So if I am meeting somebody for the first time, I don't wear my Apple Watch either because I am too tempted to look at it. And that is so rude. So
yeah.
rude. I had a good friend a while back years ago, and I just felt like every time we were like really connecting and have a conversation, and even if she was just at my house having a glass of wine or whatever, she looked at her watch so much. I wanted to rip that off her arm. I was like, oh
Hmm.
my gosh, I don't feel like you're really here with me. Stop. I am the most important.
Yeah. Right. And we're not trying to be like, center of the universe, but it is true that you set aside
Maybe.
that time. So
I mean,
let's,
maybe. I would
well,
like to be
let's,
the center of the universe. Let's be real.
well, you're saying what I'm thinking, but that's why we're on the podcast. So when you guys come to the podcast, do not be distracted. Only be listening to us. No, I'm kidding.
Right. Right. Turn all your devices off.
Okay, so another really great thing that we can be doing with our social media is that we can be following up with people. So it's
Yes.
not only great to meet them and follow them on social media or whatever, but it could even be, oh, I see this mural. This is super beautiful. That's what you meant when you said you do murals. I had no idea. Those are really cool. Great color choice, whatever. Give some feedback and then say like, hey, I would love to, meet up for coffee, or what event are you going to be at next? I hope to see you again at an upcoming event. Those are all great opportunities that you can have a conversation with them or tag them in something relevant. One of my favorite things is when someone does come on our networking call as a guest, I am constantly on the side DMing them like, hey, it sounds like you're, doing cooking classes. I know this establishment that's constantly looking for resident engagement. Can I share your information with them? And they're like, oh my gosh, like they don't even really know me. And so it's great to, what's your email? Okay, let me do that. And then later say, oh, I saw another building that was looking for the same thing. They're looking for cooking opportunities, or I see this couple is looking for date night suggestions. Do you do anything like that? It's great when you see them on other things to suggest them or send it to them and say, hey, is this something you'd be interested in? I know this is something we had talked about. Shows that you were actually engaged in the conversation. You understand what they do, and you're interested in having a deeper relationship with them, a deeper connection.
Yeah. It's kind of like when you see a post on social media and you wonder if a person you recently met, if this is something that they do. Like maybe it's a
Yes.
post where somebody's asking for a recommendation for blah blah blah. And you're like, "Oh, that woman, Sally Sue, I met her. I wonder if that's what she actually does, right?" So you can tag her and say, "Is this what you do?" It's going to show that you paid attention when she told you about her business and you're connected on social media enough to tag her. And then she's going to feel like, oh, that was nice. Like she thought of me, she tagged me. Those are connections and building a relationship all through social media. Because, remember, behind every profile is an actual person, and that person is probably really trying hard to build their business. And, social media isn't just a thing, it really can be a connector. And so, yeah, I think that using it beyond just posting and running like I do, but really engaging with people and then remembering those connections and using those connections in another social media conversation, I think can be really good too.
Well, and have you ever had it come back the opposite direction? So you've gone to a networking event, someone has really taken interest in you, they've reached out and said, hey, Tiffany, is this a service that you provide? And then you're like, who is this? And then you're like, oh no, it's that lady I was talking to. Oh gosh. And so then you start stalking their social media and trying to learn what they do so you can kind of repay the favor almost. If we are intentionally networking, that probably wouldn't happen to us. But also, maybe we're intentionally networking in a different area. Maybe we're looking for a connector. Maybe we're looking for a mentor. So somebody else flew under the radar. That's a great opportunity for you to have that conversation, and then they're on your radar. So you never know when you reach out to somebody if that actually puts you on their radar.
Yes, yes. And, you were talking about building that audience of connectors or mentors or
Hmm.
peers. And I will admit, like when I first went back into real estate, I did not want my entire social media to be full of realtors because it could be. I mean, there's a billion of us out there, right? So I had all these suggested connections coming up on LinkedIn or whatever, Facebook. And I was like, I don't really need to have all these people that are in real estate join my social media. I'm not marketing to them, right? But then I started adding them slowly as I would meet people and liked them. And then, what happened is I started to see
What?
their content that they posted.
I was just going to say this.
Yes. And then I was like, oh, wait a second. Okay. So so then I found value in being friends with people that are my peers or mentors or in my same industry because I could see their content. And I mean, that's a whole nother episode on like comparing and following and
Mm.
emulating and all those things. But I mean, that is valuable in and of itself just to see their content. So
Okay, and I will add to that when you have people in your industry or in your category that are part of your network, even if it's on social media, let's say that there's a vendor event coming up and it'd be a great opportunity, but oh, you already have something on your calendar. Now you can give value to that other person and say, hey, I know that this is something that you do. I've seen it on your social media before. It's an event you might be interested in. I can't make this one.
yes, that would be huge. What a giver.
Right?
I mean, yeah, like that is
Yeah.
so nice. Yeah. I'd be like,
Yep.
wow, this Tiffany lady's nice. She thought of me. She gave me an opportunity. Wow.
Well, it goes
She's a
back
real
to
giver.
that value sell, right? So like value sell isn't always the post is valuable, but it can be that you did something like that where you gave a referral to them. They didn't owe you anything. You don't have a deep connection yet, but I'll tell you what, that'll build it. And guess what? Next time they can't make something, guess who they're going to think of?
Right. Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's a great
Hmm.
tip.
Thanks. I'm full of them. So if social media has felt shallow or draining, maybe it's not the platform, maybe it's just your approach. This is a lot of good food for thought. What if you made it less about what you're posting and more about how you're connecting? That would be probably a great question to be asking yourself.
I definitely need to do that way more. I'm going to take
Donna, we're
that
supposed to be the
challenge.
experts.
I know, right? Like I know what I'm supposed to do. I just don't do it, and I need to do it.
It's like the doctor they always say like a doctor or a nurse is the worst patient because they know what to do. They just don't do it.
Right? That's me on social media. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. So are we ready for networking mode on?
Yes.
Okay. It's time to flip the switch. Today's networking mode on tip. Guess what it is? You'll be shocked. Okay. Leave a thoughtful comment of 4 words or a direct message, slide into somebody's DMs for 5 people. Not just a like, not just a reaction, but a real moment of support or encouragement or connection. It could be somebody you admire, someone in your industry, or someone whose post just made you smile. Show up, let them know you see them, and make those 4-word comments. Warm up the thumbs.
And if this episode reminded you of someone that you want to reconnect with, share it with them. Let it be the start of something new. And make sure you follow the Link Up Lounge so you never miss a moment that could lead you to your next big connection.
You've been hanging out in the Link Up Lounge, your lounge for turning one link into endless opportunities. Now it's your turn. Go make a powerful link today.
Networking mode on.